The subject of this film is a procedural approach to the felling of trees. Now, three of the essentials of felling were discussed in the film on the undercut, holding wood, and backcut. But as you will see, correct, efficient, and safe felling will involve much more. Now, the techniques and safety measures used to correctly fell trees are not separate entities. Rather, they are one combined effort which enables you to safely, correctly, and efficiently fell trees. Embedded in this concept is the belief that safety is merely an application of conscientious falling technique used by you to protect your well-being. A major contributor to ineffective safety planning and programs is a result of the belief that accidents and deaths can be solely reduced by the implementation of safety programs. However, in reality, it is a combined application of proper technique and safety measures that can help you to protect yourself. Proper safety planning is rendered ineffective, if not totally useless, if the correct techniques of falling are not also applied. And on the other hand, if the proper techniques are used but poor safety measures employed, the effectiveness of the correct technique is outweighed. The excellence of one cannot compensate for the laxness or absence of the other. Again, it is the combined effort of both technique and safety that will ensure your well-being. Another essential concept of this film involves the separation of the total felling activity into individual parts. The value of such an approach is that instead of being concerned with all of the variables of technique and sources of danger of the process as a whole, each facet can be considered individually. By being broken into these individual units, you are provided with a guideline of what must be given consideration at any particular step in the process. As a result, this film is arranged in a manner in which a sequence of activities will lead you through the total felling procedure. The first step in the felling procedure is that of establishing a strip layout. Strip layout refers to the predetermined sequence in which trees are felled in a particular area and in what direction or lead. The concern here is that trees still standing are not being felled across those previously felled or felled across gullies or other natural formations which could result in breaking them. Now, the next step in the procedure is checking for snags in the immediate area. And this is our next step. And make sure that you understand that this is the next step in the felling sequence. Snags present you with a special problem because they can fall at any time and in any direction. Now, a snag is a dead or dying tree which is still standing. Being dead, a snag is to one degree or another comprised of rotten wood, and as a result, wind, vibration from logging equipment or whatever other equipment might be in the area can cause a snag to fall. Therefore, snags in the immediate area must be felled before you begin your activities. Now, because snags are comprised of rotten wood and so dangerous, they require special techniques and procedures, and a later film will consider the proper manner for handling them. Here it is only important that you understand that snags are very dangerous and should not be left standing in the immediate working area. Once at the base of the tree to be felled, swamp out or clear all of the debris, such as brush, from around the base of the tree. The purpose of swamping out is to remove debris which could hamper your activities of sawing and using your axe and wedge. Next, look up to the top of the tree. What you're looking for here is widowmakers in the top, which can be broken limbs and or tops. Now, in brushy country or in areas where the trees are tall and the tops canopied, you may not be able to see the top, so step back and make sure that the top is free of dangerous overhead hazards. The next step involves planning an escape path. An escape path consists of 4 components that be established prior to falling. It be approximately at a 45-degree angle away from the felling line, and its distance be 20 feet and behind the barrier, and the retreat begin as soon as the tree is committed to the undercut. Now, an escape path is extremely important, for it will allow you to avoid being caught at the stump when the tree is falling. The next step in the correct felling sequence involves sizing up the tree. Basically, this consists of 3 objectives: plumbing the lean, recognizing head lean and side lean, examining the base of the tree for hidden defects. Plumbing the lean means to determine a tree's natural lean from the vertical. This is generally accomplished by means of an axe or plumb bob. Place your axe or plumb bob at the center of the tree's base and visually project this line up the tree. Most generally, the lean can be easily determined by merely seeing if the tree leans to the left or right of that vertical line which you have visually projected up. Another important part of sizing up a tree is to determine the soundness of its base. Recognizing the presence of rot is extremely important, for if it's present, a number of dangerous situations could result. The desired falling direction could be drastically changed because of all the holding wood being rotten, or it could fall at any time. Sounding with an axe means you hit the tree with a pounding surface. Generally, the tree containing rot can be distinguished from a solid tree just by the sound. Now, another method of determining the soundness of the base of the tree is by boring into the stump with the tip of the bar and examining the removed wood chips for discoloration. Once you have established the lane of the tree and determined the soundness of its base, you know where you want the tree to go, so re-examine your escape route. If it is not in the direction you want, prepare another before continuing your activities. Now, once you are satisfied with the escape path, walk out the direction in which the tree will be falling. Make sure that there's no rocks, old stumps, or windfalls, or uneven terrain which could break the trees. Now, part of your responsibility is to maximize the quality and quantity of your trees. Therefore, protect your product by making certain that sources of breakage are not present. Now that all of the procedures and precautions have been taken, you are ready to insert the undercut. Now, remembering the earlier discussion on the holding wood undercut and back cut, the horizontal cut is 1/3 the diameter of the tree and level. The sloping cut, whether above or below the horizontal cut, is angled sufficiently to allow a wide-mouthed opening undercut. Now, before going to the felling cut, it is remembered that the undercut opening must be completely cleaned out and that the two cuts do not cross each other on either side. Now, again, before we initiate our back cut, we'll want to warn others in the area that we are about to fall a tree. Now, the back cut is sawn on the opposite side of the tree from the undercut and sawn as level as possible. As it proceeds toward the undercut, it must not be allowed to cut through the narrow section of holding wood immediately behind the undercut. As soon as room is available, a wedge is inserted in the back cut and periodically driven in tight. Once the tree is committed to the undercut, quickly escape along your escape path and get behind another barrier if possible. The appalling number of annual accidents occurring at the stump testify to the importance of getting away from the stump quickly. So the correct felling procedure consists of a number of steps which include establishing strip layout, checking for snags in the area, swamping out the tree's base, observing the top of the tree, establishing an escape path, sizing up the tree, re-examining your escape route, walking out the lay, inserting the proper undercut, warning others before back cutting, and inserting a wedge in the back cut as soon as possible, and quickly proceeding along your escape path once the tree is committed to the undercut. As a timber faller, a critical part of your activities will involve the felling of trees. The basic reason for this lies in the fact that how well you execute your duties will determine not only your safety, but also the volume and damage captured from your trees. In order to protect yourself and your trees, you must follow a procedure each time you approach a tree. By so doing, you can eliminate potential dangers at each individual step in the process. A procedural approach to the felling activities will enable you to combine the essential aspects of felling technique and safety measures. This in turn will assist you in fulfilling a major portion of your responsibilities, to fall trees in a safe, correct, and efficient manner while at the same time maximizing the utmost quantity and quality of each tree.